Well, two children sick with COVID are snuggled up in bed with mum and dad. So, I mean, that sounds like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? But the parents you're about to meet avoided contracting the virus.
How, you might ask? Well, the answer is simple. They were fully vaccinated and they're now urging others to follow suit. Cameron and Liz Ward and their two sons, Eli and Leo, join us now live from quarantine in Melbourne. Good morning, guys. How are you this morning? Cameron, let's start from the beginning. How did your sons catch COVID?
Well, Eli, he caught it at school. One of his besties went to the MCG and was unlucky enough to catch it at the MCG.
He gave it to me.
Eli caught it from him, and he did do it to Leo. So.
Good thing is, Leo, you're not holding a grudge here, obviously, are you, mate? How did the boys... Sorry, go.
Yep. So we had... his best mate was taken out of school on lunchtime on a Wednesday. And the following day... Well, Liz could probably tell you better what happened the following day, because I went into hospital to have an operation on my throat the following morning, and everything was normal in our household. And then I woke up kind of 8 hours later to a debacle. So we were a close contact the following morning. Do you want to explain what happened from there, Liz?
Yeah, so the following morning we found out that Eli was tested positive, and Cameron was still at the hospital at that point. And we had some directive from the DHS that he shouldn't come home because he was considered more vulnerable. But at that point, he really wasn't able to look after himself very well, and nor was he able to look after the kids. So we decided to face it all as a family together, and we all kind of buckled down in isolation here.
You know, that's incredibly powerful, you just saying that, because this is what Brisbane families went through too with their kids. So the kids had contracted COVID, and they had to make a decision as a family as to whether or not the child would isolate on their own or they just go in all together. That's what you did. You must have been incredibly worried, though.
I think yes and no. We were worried about catching it, but at the same time we had been vaccinated, so we weren't as concerned about what the impact on our household would be if we did catch it. And yeah, we lived fairly normally. I mean, we told the kids a couple of times to sort of keep their distance, and we'd go in the room with them and they'd be swapping football cards together about 10 centimetres apart. So it was really difficult to do that. And as well, when the kids were feeling unwell overnight, they would come down for some cuddles, and it's just instinctual to give them as much love and care as you can. And that's not able to be done socially distanced.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Your kid comes to you wanting a cuddle. You're not going to say no because you've got COVID. Did you expect that you would get it?
Not really. I mean, we'd had everything you hear about the vaccine. We'd had the vaccine, our second dose of the vaccine 3 weeks prior to all of this happening, which my understanding is your antibodies are at the highest point there. So we didn't think that we wouldn't get it, but I was kind of semi-confident that perhaps we wouldn't get it. But we were confident that if we did get it, that we wouldn't have it as badly as obviously others. There's another family at our school where the child and the mum went and isolated at a regional property and left the father and their other daughter down here in Melbourne, so their daughter didn't catch it. And they were due to be vaccinated have their first vaccination on the day that they were considered a close contact. So obviously then they couldn't get their vaccination. So the mother of this child got it, and she got quite ill. She had to go to hospital. So we were confident that wouldn't happen to us, but it just goes to show that
that's the thing, isn't it? You just with this Delta variant, you just don't know how you're going to react. And four people in the same house can have four different reactions. I want to talk to, if I can, Leo and Eli in just a second. But before we do that, because I know Leo's busting to say something, look at him, a little rock star. But to the parents, to you guys, what's your advice then to people out there who may be reticent about getting vaccinations?
For us, it was just always a no-brainer. We as soon as we were able to get the vaccination, we would. But my advice is just to listen to the health experts. That's what we did, and I think that's definitely helped us, and I just encourage everybody else to do the same.
And I've probably got a bit of a stronger message. My advice is just to go out and do it. If you're sitting there now waiting, you're eligible for a vaccination and you're sitting there waiting, well, just go out and get it. We can't have a small population do the heavy lifting on this.
Yeah.
Everyone has to do it. Go and speak to your doctor. We know what the health experts are saying. We know it's safe. Don't listen to, your neighbour Susie's uncle's brother who read on the internet that it was dangerous. Go and get professional advice and
agree.
Get out and start. Do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for your community.
Help us get out of lockdown.
Exactly. Now, I think it's a powerful message. Leo, it looks like you've got one of those gobstoppers in your mouth, or you're just dying to get on telly. Is there anything, Leo, you'd like to say to the nation? The floor, my friend, my young star, is yours. What would you like to say to Australia and especially to your best friends?
Just don't try to get COVID.
Excellent, young fella. Eli, you?
Well, some people think that COVID's like not as bad as you think, but it's not that bad if you catch it as a kid, because you just get like a cold and sometimes a sore throat.
Yeah.
And it's not bad.
Okay, and you are you two as brothers? Are you getting on now, or are you still furious, Leo, with your brother?
Yeah, kind of.
Good to talk to you. These are debates going on in households right across the country right now, and it's lovely to have your perspective. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Guys.
They've been locked up for a long time, Karl. They've been locked up together, so they're like true brothers. They're either fighting, playing, or hugging it out. So it's good for them to get a bit of outside engagement, I think.
Good on you, man.
Love or hate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Thank you, guys. Well,